was gonna say, as you can see, I'm sharing a comment on there, which was kind of timely, as you were talking about the running game. So I do agree to an extent of that statement, Mr. Kabindra Kafle, however you say your name. Yeah, no, Kane unfortunately does not look anywhere near what he could be when he's 100%. As far as double teaming Dotson, that opens up things for guys like Parker Washington and Keandre Lambert-Smith to do some more damage. So if Iowa
And the
actually,
37 tight ends.
yeah, and for Theo and Bratton Strange, so if Iowa wants to go ahead and double or triple team Jahan Dotson, they can have at it. But Phil Parker is a very good defensive coordinator. I think he'll be smart enough not to do that, I would think. I mean, frankly, I do hope he does try to do that just for our own sake. But I disagree that double teaming Dotson's a way to beat them. But yeah, I mean, we'll see if they can get any kind of run game going next week against Iowa. Frankly, even before tonight, even before the lousy showing against Villanova in the ground the week before, I wasn't counting on it. I was thinking it'd be more like Wisconsin, where we utilize screen passes, short passes, which acted as run plays when we realized we couldn't run the ball on them, and then use that to set up deep shots. I feel like that's probably going to be key to beating Iowa. And of course, that's going to happen. Cliff has to look more like he did against Auburn than he did tonight with throwing the ball, and perhaps he can. It's certainly gonna be. We'll do a short preview of Iowa sooner later on the show, but I did make a bet with a friend. He thinks, well, first thing he's going to lose next week, but also he thinks Cliff is going to throw multiple picks, and I bet him a beer that he wouldn't throw more than one interception next week, and I'm still going to stand by that. I am hopeful that pass protection overall this year has been pretty solid. Run blocking, it's a different story, but overall, I mean, they've done a good job giving Cliff time to check down and look for his guys. So we'll see. Again, a lot can happen, I guess, in a week. And I don't know about you, but I definitely am anticipating a rock fight similar to what the season opener in Wisconsin was like. Maybe first team to 20 wins or something like that. So.
Yeah, everyone has to give Iowa credit for what they've done so far. Their defense is playing out of their minds. They've had multiple turnovers in, I believe, every game they've played this season. In two of their highest scoring games, they've had multiple turnovers effectively in the opposing team's end zone, which leads to a lot of easy points. So I think there is something to be said about Penn State taking care of the ball. Clifford threw a pick. I don't believe Penn State has lost any fumbles this year so far, but 3 picks on the season, no lost fumbles. Penn State is doing a much better job of taking care of the football. And as you said, like it's unrealistic to expect that Penn State's not going to have any turnovers next week. But I think if you limit those, especially if you don't commit a turnover in your own side of the field, you're going to have a bad time if you give Iowa 3 points. But on the other side of that same conversation, right, Iowa, when they've had to come up with their own offense, it's been tough sledding for them too. So it's not like, yes, they scored 51 against Maryland, but it's not like they've just been able to impose their will on teams. They've had their own struggles running the ball, and up until the game against Maryland, they also were having trouble passing the ball. Their offense, I believe, was like 13th in the Big Ten in total offense. So it's not like Penn State is facing this offensive juggernaut that if they don't have the perfect offensive game, they're going to find themselves down so much that it can't possibly be a game, right? We know that the Penn State defense is going to do what they've done all season. We know that the Penn State offense looks a lot better than it did the last time Penn State played Iowa, where they were turning the ball over multiple times in a game. Um, so the question is, will Iowa's defense be able to do what they have been doing so far this season, or will this be more of a game like, as you said, like the Wisconsin game, where it's going to be a rock fight, and the team that makes the most key plays and key moments comes up with the win? I mean, obviously, we hope that it's a repeat of 2016 and the game is over before halftime and we can go to sleep early, but probably not going to be the case. At Hilton.